Some of the signs that we do at Media One, giant. Some have LEDs, some have neon, some have push-throughs. But occasionally we get a kind of a difficult sign in reference to it's just so small we almost have to make tools or buy separate tools just to make it happen. And this is one of those jobs. This is for foundry commercial. The reason this job is so difficult is the stroke of the letter, my little finger's fatter than that. So trying to be able to get a welder in here, bend the material in the tools that we have, it's just not possible. You kind of have to go outside the box and figure out a way to do it before you build it. People look at it and go, you're not going to be able to do that. I mean, first of all, the welder is not going to fit in there. The serifs of these letters are way too small. This particular sign is 26 pieces. I have to make pieces, leave pieces off in order to get inside some of the letters to weld them. So this is one piece from here to here. This is a second piece from here to here. I don't have a tool that I can radius this, make a break over here, make a break, and make another radius. So this is separate. This piece is separate. This is a separate piece. This is also a separate. And every other piece as we go down the line is separate. Only because I can't get these pieces in a tool to bend them properly. So most of the pieces I bent on the brake, but just in small sections. And then once I've actually built the piece and I put it back on here, I have to figure out how I'm going to get a welder in there. I would normally just do this in the brake, but because they're so small, there's just no way that I can make this small serif in our brake. So using my standard welder, it's not going to work. I have a flexible nozzle on here so that it can reach in and do small things, but that's not going to happen. There's no way I can get this in there. There's just absolutely no way this is going to work. I need to come up with a different plan. So how I change the plan is a different welding stinger to weld this with, and I have to leave certain pieces out. But as you can see, this one reaches in there just fine. It reaches down inside there, but again, it's still not going to fit in here. So I even have to take it another step further and figure out how I'm going to do this. So this is how I did that. This gun definitely fits inside here. I have no way to weld this. I leave this piece out, all the flat pieces that are on the bottom of the letters, so that I can reach in through here and actually do my welds. And into here, and into here, and then these pieces can go on after the fact. And of course, a welder will fit in there to tack these last. So these are the challenges that have to be figured out before it even goes to the router table, before I even begin bending the metal. I have to make sure that I can physically do it. So now that I've finished fabricating, it's ready for what Robert put on was horizontal grain, which is really, really nice. Then it went to paint. The sides got painted with the brushed aluminum, and now it's time for me to put in LEDs. What the client asked for was color changing, and the way we do that is RGB LEDs. The challenge of putting these LEDs in is that they don't bend, they don't go around corners. So each of these RGBs contain 4 wires, which I had to solder this one to that one, to this one, to that one, to this one, and make a complete chain all the way to the end. So now that the LEDs are in the letters themselves, and I have them all wired, the next step is to wire this to a power supply and the controller. And what makes that really nice is that they can control the color from anywhere. Not only can they choose the color that they want, they can choose any color whatsoever, and it'll change to any color that they like. So this is what it's going to look like when it's installed in the field. I'm just going to lay it on top of this board so you can kind of see the back of them. They don't normally flicker, but it will flicker in that camera, but it does not flicker when it's on the wall. The second portion of the foundry is neon that goes on the wall in their big giant waiting room that says it's personal. We don't do neon in-house, but one of our vendors, South Atlantic Neon, the people that bent the glass. The glass is actually colored yellow, but it's really orange. That's part of the reason I enjoy making the smaller signs that go in the reception area or on the back wall of the waiting room. They get a lot of visibility, And that's kind of the stuff I really like. Thank you for watching the Media One Wrap This YouTube channel.